Swami Mukundananda is a global spiritual leader, Bhakti saint, best-selling author, and a beacon of spiritual wisdom and inspiration. With a mission to inspire and transform lives, Swamiji's teachings bring ancient Vedic wisdom into the modern world. His insights on mind management, holistic living, and selfless devotion to God have touched millions worldwide. Join us on this journey where timeless wisdom becomes practical. Subscribe now.
There was once a man taking a walk by the side of a forest. On this day, he decided to enter the forest for his evening walk. He had walked 1.5 miles in when the light started fading. So he thought, let me get out before it becomes dark. Now as he was walking toward the edge, a few animals appeared. He could spot some ferocious carnivorous animals. So to save himself, he turned around and started running deeper into the forest. As he was running, he found a witch standing in front with open arms. "Come here, I shall cling to you." He said, "What is this? Both sides danger." He turned perpendicular and ran. By now it had become totally dark. He could not see. There was a pit and some wine had covered its opening. He fell headlong into the pit. His feet got entangled in the wine. So he was hanging upside down on this pit. After a few moments, he came to his senses. He could see there was a snake at the bottom of the pit waiting. "Fall down, I shall bite you and kill you." In the meantime, 2 mice came. One was a black mouse and the other was a white mouse. They started nibbling at the branch from which the wine was hanging, indicating that this position is not permanent. "We will throw you towards your imminent death." Further, some bees came and started stinging him on the face. In that pitiable situation, it was observed that this man is smiling. So a bunch of philosophers got together to figure out how can anybody smile in such a precarious situation. They looked up. There was a beehive there. Some drops of honey were falling onto his mouth. He was busy licking the honey, relishing it, and enjoying himself. He had forgotten the bee stings, the mice nibbling, the snake waiting, the animals, and the witch. You will say, this person was not half mad, he was full mad. But this story is of nobody else. It is of us souls in this material realm. That forest is like the forest of material existence, with danger at every step. The animals that had made their appearance, these are diseases that start chasing us in life. Now your sugar count has gone up. Now you've got a borderline diabetes. Now your cholesterol count has gone up. Now the BP is out of control. These are the animals that chase us in life. The witch standing in front to cling him is old age, which says, "Come into my lap." Somebody said, "Jo aakar na jaye, वो बुढ़ापा देखा, और जो जाकर न आए वो जवानी देखी. The one thing, once it left, it never came back. That is youth. And the one thing, once it came in life, it never went away. That is old age. So, old age is waiting to embrace us. The snake at the bottom of the pit is death in the form of time, ready to finish us off. The mice that were nibbling at the bench, they are day and night, the white mouse and the black mouse, finishing our lifespan, throwing us towards death. The bees that came to sting him on the face are numerous desires that arise in the mind and disturb our inner peace. Yet, the little bit of sensual satisfaction that we get between the contact of our senses with the sense objects, we find such relish in them that we forget the reality of our situation. So, if our intellect could firmly contemplate and decide the nature and reality of this world, the mind would immediately come off.
Yeah, I've been thinking about this question about how in history, when I have conversations with my father, he'll talk about his dad or his dad's dad. And it seemed as though they had less free time, but they didn't have the problems of anxiety, depression, boredom, unhappiness. I don't hear those stories. And nowadays, it appears that through innovation, we have more free time, but there's more depression, unhappiness, and anxiety. If you could elaborate on why that is.
Ever since human society began mass producing consumer goods, it enabled people to free up their time. And that is why before the Industrial Revolution, people had less free time just meeting their needs. And later on, this change in society enabled us to have more free time. Any kind of freedom is a privilege. Every privilege comes with a responsibility as well. When India became independent, the people who wrote the Constitution, with all their brilliance, they defined the fundamental rights of the citizen of India. But they forgot to mention the fundamental duties. And that is why, up until the 1970s and 80s, there used to be strikes everywhere. Everybody said we have the right to strike. But nobody said we have the duty to work. Right? So, any freedom is a privilege. Along with any privilege is a responsibility. If you ignore the responsibility, then you fall down beyond the normal levels. In other words, sometimes it is better to be in chains than to be free. So the freedom that modern society has afforded to humans by providing them with spare time is like a two-edged sword. You could use that time to get into trouble. You could use that time to indulge in vices and leading to the downfall of the soul, burning up your money, getting into all kinds of social problems, psychological problems, or we could use that time for the eternal salvation of our soul. When God or society has bestowed us with free time, it's not that, okay, now I can do what I like. To whom much is given, from him much is expected. If God has given us the facility where we don't have to bother about the tiny things for our survival and maintenance, then we must now rise to the responsibility of utilizing those privileges for our benefit, for the benefit of our soul, and for the benefit of all society. Consider time as a gift of God and make every moment count. Naradji in his Bhakti Darshan says, Kshanardhamapi vyarthe na neyam. Don't waste even a single moment. Thousands of years ago, Chanakya Pandit had said, Sahanis tanmahat chidram samoha savibhramaha yan muhurtam kshanam vapi vasudevam na chintayet. He said the biggest loss, the biggest tragedy, the biggest ruin in life is that moment which you did not utilize judiciously. That moment which you squandered and wasted away. Now think about all the wasteful activities we are doing. Unnecessary reading, unnecessary surfing, unnecessary games, unnecessary chit-chat and gossiping. If we wish to rise to the duty that God has bestowed upon us by giving us the privilege of free time, then we must cut it all out and utilize every moment properly.
Daily Sadhana is a unique coaching platform envisioned by Swami Mukundananda for people of all backgrounds to make systematic spiritual progress at your own pace and in the comfort of your own home. In Daily Sadhana, Swami Mukundananda will be your personal spiritual coach and will help you learn and practice spirituality every day in a structured and engaging manner.
If we could transform ourselves just 1% every day, after a few months, we would have changed ourselves 100%.
Daily Sadhana offers beautifully designed online courses where the timeless Vedic philosophy is systematically organized into daily lessons. Each daily lesson contains an exclusive video lecture, review slides to revise the key takeaways, special meditation sessions, and quizzes and exercises. Visit mydailysadhana.org to learn more and start your spiritual practice today.